Charles Laddick's backyard in Moore, Oklahoma, and what brings us here is his shed. But before we talk about your shed, Charles, and we can't ignore our beautiful backyard that you have here, you've got a nice little vegetable garden tucked in here. Can you tell us a little bit about what you're doing?
Well, we have just a few things. We like tomatoes. My wife really likes tomatoes, so we always have a few tomatoes and onions, and sometimes we plant some lettuce in the spring. We like asparagus, so we've got our asparagus patch here.
And I've even noticed you got some asparagus tucked around your ornamental garden too.
We eat as much as we can, and then we give some to the neighbors, and our kids don't like it. They grew up on it. We used to have it all the time when we were out in the country.
You wore them out.
Wore them out. Our son-in-law likes it, and a couple of our grandsons like it, but our daughters don't.
Well, it makes a nice foliage the rest of the time of the year.
Yeah, and I try to keep it where the way I done the fences, I tried to keep it where it stands up and it doesn't fall over.
Oh yeah.
And so you can get in there and cut it whenever it's producing, and it doesn't shade everything.
You don't lose it and miss some of those. Yeah. Well, outside of your shed here, we've got a few things to look at. Of course, you've got a water feature, which is kind of nice, having the sound of water. And then you're espaliering a tree here.
Yeah.
It looks like. This is an apple tree we've got.
Yeah, it's a dwarf yellow delicious, and when we lived in the country, we always liked yellow delicious because they make such good pies and strudels and things like that, and so I'm trying to get it to produce and make it what I want it to be.
Yeah, well, a lot of times we think we can't do fruit trees because we're in a small backyard or something, but you're proving us all wrong here with this.
Yeah.
How long have you been growing this as a espalier?
This is the third season on it.
Okay.
When I first started with this one, I made some mistakes, but I've been able to recover, and it's doing pretty well now. Hopefully, in the next couple of years, it'll start producing.
Very nice. And you do have some other fruit trees around we're going to get to here in a minute, right?
Right, yeah.
So your shed outside, of course, doesn't look like a shed at all. It kind of blends in with your neighborhood here.
Yeah.
Is that a requirement, or?
Yeah, we're our homeowners association bylaws require us to have it looking like it's part of the home, and so we built it afterwards. We got approval from the homeowners association and built it and bricked it, and I like having it here because I can keep a lot of my stuff out of my workshop.
Okay, all right. So this is where your garden stuff is. You've got a second hobby that you do woodworking with?
Yeah, I try to do some woodworking. Sometimes I'm not real pleased with it, but that's what I try to do.
Well, it looks like some of your woodworking skills have come in handy in here with your storage. Can you tell me a little bit about how you've utilized that?
Well, yeah, I try to come up with ideas on how to make things economically and uses the space as efficiently as I can, and so I make a lot of my holders for holding my tools and my yard equipment, and just various other things.
Well, I like the double decker where you've kind of put a board on top of another board to hold 2 layers of tools there.
Yeah, it works well. That way I don't have to spend a lot of time finding stuff.
Yeah, everything's out there in the open for you.
Yeah, everything's out in the open for me. So.
Well, let's talk a little bit. You have a beautiful lacebark elm here, which gives you a nice little shade garden. It looks like that. Starting to be more of a shade garden anyway, right?
Yeah, it didn't start out to be that way. That tree has really grown and done well. I think it's probably been there about 6 years, 7 years. So it's really growing well, and I have to keep pruning it to keep it out of my roofs. But I like the effect that it gives back here. I think it looks pretty nice myself.
Yeah. But even better than that, I see a tree that is calling my name over here. You've got this beautiful peach tree that, I mean, it's loaded with peaches.
Well, yeah, we enjoy fresh fruit, and when you go to the grocery store, the stuff that's been picked 2 or 3 weeks before it's ripe, we prefer to have it fresh off the tree.
Right.
And so this has worked out nice, and and I don't have to mow the lawn, and back here it works. It works well.
Yeah, it seems like you found a little microclimate for your orchard here. You're right between two houses, a lot of concrete around us.
Yeah.
And they seem to be doing well. You've got another...
I've got an apricot tree standing there and another columnar apple.
Okay.
That I had one, but it wouldn't grow, so I took it out and put in and ordered a new columnar apple, and it seems to be doing good. That's its second year here, so. And then I've got a columnar apple in the front that's about its fourth year.
Oh, wow.
And it's doing really well. So.
Okay. So what do you think is a tribute to having all of this heavy fruit on this tree this year? We had some late freezes.
Well, whenever I get a night that is going to be cold, I've got a big umbrella I put over it, and then I take a heat lamp and plug it in and try to keep it from freezing, and it seems to have worked. I've done it for 3 or 4 years now.
Yeah, definitely.
And every year we get peaches off of it, so I'm happy about that. And it's with the surroundings here, the tree doesn't break off bad.
Okay.
We don't get much wind on it, so it helps it a lot.
Well, I would keep protecting it anytime you get those late frosts, because it's definitely worth it this time of year, isn't it?
Yeah, we're looking forward to eating some peaches.
I'm just a week or two early, aren't I?
Well, I'm sure you can find one or some that you can take with you.
Charles, thank you so much. This has just been great, and we appreciate you sharing your backyard with us.
Well, thank you very much.
Hope you enjoyed this video. It's part of our Oklahoma Gardening YouTube channel. You can also find even more videos on our OK Gardening Classics YouTube channel. And join us on social media for great gardening tips, photos, and discussion.